On June 23rd of 2016, at a Texas jail, guard Gary Grimm was supervising several inmates in a holding cell at the Weatherfield District Court building when suddenly, disaster struck. Security camera footage shows Grimes sitting down in a chair, suffering from a heart attack. Right across from him are several inmates who look on at the incident in shock and awe. The inmates force the cell door open, with several of them calling for help. Deputies finally arrive, call the paramedics, and get Grimes some help. This video in Spain shows a crowd gathered on a sunny day for the traditional running of the bulls. The bull trots around looking for a target, eventually settling on an SUV. The bull turns on a dime and starts attacking the front of the SUV, piercing the tire and lifting the front of the SUV off the ground. It continues to stab the SUV, eventually breaking a fluid reservoir, before turning and going to attack another target. This person can be seen on security camera video seemingly ordering a sandwich from a Subway restaurant. But it quickly becomes clear that he's not there for food, but the money. The man grabs the cash register and pulls it away with him, only to discover that it's connected by a cable. Workers chase after him, and the person outside trips him to stop him from getting away. On June 19th of 2019, a mother entered a Laureles Colonel office building located in Medellin, Colombia, accompanied by her young son. The two waited to be buzzed into the office, and the young boy can be seen wandering around. He quickly falls off the balcony, but the mother's instincts kick in and she saves him immediately. Talk about motherly reflexes. This video starts off quite weird as we watch a man use a stick to poke around in his pair of shoes. Seems like a seriously strange and almost comedic video at first. But it becomes clear that the man was right to poke around, as out comes a venomous snake. Who knows what could have happened if he didn't check and his feet had gotten bitten by that dangerous reptile. After committing a bank robbery, 3 motorcycle riders flee the scene. However, one civilian wants to step up and save the day, trying to stop them dead in their tracks. He proceeds to tackle one of the men, but then the man pulls out a large machete and scares the guy away. This couple in Australia got the scare of their lives when they saw this man on their security cam snooping around outside their home late at night. At one point, he even hides behind a parked truck so that a passing car won't spot him and call the police. This FedEx driver was making his rounds in Kansas City and left a parcel on this homeowner's front porch, only to turn around and find that a man had gotten inside his delivery vehicle, driving off down the street. The driver immediately called the police, but a local news station located the truck first, thanks to a chopper they had flying overhead. Police eventually pulled him over and arrested the man, but the truck ended up catching fire. This footage comes from Izmir, Turkey, and shows the shocking moments in which this residential building collapses due to a catastrophic earthquake. It's hard to imagine just how terrifying witnessing something like this in person would truly be. On June 8th of 2020, these drivers surely thought that their drive was going to go smoothly, but that all changed when this woman walked directly into the street, causing many drivers to slam on their brakes. This woman is unbelievably lucky that her reckless actions didn't get her seriously injured or worse. On June 27th of 2018, two hunters out in the Canadian wilderness got way too close to a family of bears. On the first day of their 5-day-long hunt, they set up some bait near a trail overlooking some black bears. The men watched the bears for about an hour, but got the scare of their lives when the bears got right up close and personal. These hunters are just lucky that they lived to tell the tale instead of becoming the next meal of those bears. This animal handler got the surprise of her life when she realized that this alligator wasn't as friendly as she thought. The alligator grabs the handler's arm and tries to pull her in, but she thankfully manages to get some reinforcements to save her. A security camera inside of an electronics store on July 1st of 2016 captured the terrifying moment in which a woman and her 4-year-old daughter enter the store, right before the unthinkable happens. The woman is waiting in line with her baby in her arms, while her other child is playing around with a candy machine near the front door. Suddenly, a man can be seen grabbing the 4-year-old girl by the arm, attempting to kidnap her in broad daylight. Thankfully, the mother and another customer noticed the incident and saved the girl from being kidnapped. This home surveillance camera was recording footage in the middle of the night. But strangely, from the right side of the screen, we can see several white orbs coming into view, seeming to fly across the screen behind the house's fence, with some going over the fence. What in the world was that? We may never know the answer. This video shows a scary moment in which an EF4 tornado rages through a city, wreaking havoc and destroying many buildings in the process.
Holy shit. Holy moly. All right. Holy shit. All right, I gotta go. I'm coming, honey. Shit, where you at, hon? God damn, it's bad. All right, stay down, honey. Oh, shit, Josie. Uh-oh. We're gonna get some shit here, honey.
Is this gonna save us?
I hope so, buddy. Oh my God! Okay, honey. Holy shit! Stay in. Oh man! Oh shit!
Don't go out there.
No, not yet.
Don't.
Oh.
Stay here.
Oh my God, Josie.
It's terrifying to think about what it would have been like to have been in the center of such a scary situation. It may be shocking to hear since you're probably used to hearing about earthquakes in California, but the state of Alaska has also seen a genuinely ugly earthquake in the year 2018. That year, the city of Anchorage was hit with a 7.1 magnitude earthquake. Notice how the father jumped into action, grabbed his child, and raced out of the house, followed by his wife. They all escaped unharmed and only lost a few minor items in the house. It's obvious that this warehouse hallway is very narrow, but despite this, we can see two forklifts in the same area. One of them is actively moving towards some crates to pick up. However, the driver accidentally reverses too quickly, destroying the corner of the shelf. This causes a cascading effect as all the shelves in the warehouse start to collapse on top of the workers in an outrageous mess that must have taken days to clean up. I bet somebody lost their job there. Chita, Russia was hit by a powerful 67-mile-per-hour windstorm in May of 2020 that whipped through the city. The storm blew several rooftops clean off and even knocked down some trees and power lines and destroyed many cars. This terrifying video shows the wind in action, causing irreparable damage. On April 17th of 2013, a fire outbreak at this fertilizer plant in Texas turned into a pneumonia nitrate explosion. The facility managed to explode just a mere 20 minutes after the fire outbreak was initially reported. It just goes to show you that fires are incredibly deadly and that it doesn't take long at all for them to quickly turn into something more crazy than we could ever imagine. This family in South Carolina was terrified when they noticed a gigantic alligator trying to break into their house through their plate glass windows. Obviously, they panicked and weren't sure what to do. The homeowners were left locked inside the house and had to call rescuers to escort the animal off their premises. The animal was incredibly resistant, though, and didn't want to leave. Thankfully, after some trial and error, the rescuers were finally able to escort the alligator away and the family resumed their day. This video shows dashcam footage of a driver going down an ordinary-looking road in the middle of the day when they approach a massive crane. As the driver gets closer to the crane, they watch in awe as it slowly tips over, crashing down onto the building, caving in the roof, and sending shingles flying. Stay tuned for our #1 pick that will shock you. In Brentwood, New Hampshire, this massive house can be seen ablaze with no sign of help nearby. The neighborhood looks fairly normal, but it's clear that this house is not going to last long. And sure enough, in just a matter of seconds, an explosion rocks the house, sending a massive fireball and part of the roof into the sky, leaving the house devastated. "34-year-old Derek Estelle was arrested in 2013 after using a stolen car to evade the police. Once they caught up with him, there was a standoff that involved tear gas and an entire SWAT team. A week before this arrest, he was also involved in a bank robbery. He got 6 charges in total, including aggravated robbery, burglary, theft, breaking and entering, and fleeing the scene of a crime. For the next few months, Estelle's mother, his girlfriend, and her stepdad began to help him make a plan to escape jail. On July 28th of 2013, he was transferred to the Garland County Jail following a court appearance. This CCTV video shows Estelle using an inmate's phone, talking to his mother. He then drops the phone and dives through the jail's open reception window, at which point he sprints through the front door. He then jumped into a waiting vehicle and sped away. Tamara Upshaw, Estelle's girlfriend, was the driver of the getaway vehicle. Estelle's stepdad distracted the deputies, which allowed him to escape without being noticed. The Ariane 5 was a massive failed missile launch from 1996 that cost $60 million. This video shows the rocket taking off in what looks like a promising launch. However, before the rocket enters orbit, it suddenly shatters into countless pieces, crumbling to the ground in spectacular fashion. A plane crash is never a good thing. Even so, something is unsettling about watching it slowly sink into the watery abyss, especially when it's smiling on the outside. It moves quickly, as you can imagine, slipping into the water, falling deep, and immediately falling out of view. Divers follow it down, but the camera pans back up. There's almost no sign that there had been a sinking plane there just moments before, meaning that people might get a terrifying surprise in their deaths down the line. In Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, a swarm of firefighters arrive on the scene when suddenly, just a few feet in the distance, a massive explosion rocks the streets and sends people running away for their lives. Even the firefighters run for cover, in complete shock and awe of what just happened. In this video, a man can be seen talking into the camera, explaining his horrific experience. While solo camping in his truck, it all caught on his GoPro camera.
But a few days ago, I was camping in Sun River, and what I thought would be a good location to pull over to the side of the road in like this forest area and sleep, which I thought no one was really around, turned into someone trying to creep on me.
In the recording, he can be heard whispering into the camera, saying he was sleeping in the back of his truck when some noises woke him up.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is, and there's someone walking around my truck. He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already.
It's pitch black outside. The man can be heard to be afraid about the situation. Suddenly, the mysterious person out starts knocking on the truck, probably trying to understand if someone's inside. The mysterious person keeps walking around for a while and most likely leaves.
He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. The canopy, the back door's locked. I can never been scared before ever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here.
The video then cuts to the day after, in which the man shows the night aftermath and how the mysterious person was trying to break into his truck. Luckily, no one was hurt.
So I'm back home. This is the day after. He was trying to peek in my truck quite a bit with all these marks. I didn't even notice until I got home.
Whoa, that was super creepy. It's no secret that young children are fascinated by animals. Of course, kids can be around animals as long as these animals are friendly and non-dangerous. This mother was walking around in what appears to be a farm or petting zoo when a ram appears and charges the toddler. Thankfully, the mother had great reflexes, saw the ram, and pulled the child out of the path of destruction at the very last second. In 1965, the $60 million Atlas Centaur V can be seen taking off in what looks like a normal launch. Unfortunately, it looks to have gotten hung up in the launch gear, thereby slingshotting it back to the ground. Upon hitting the ground, it explodes in a mushroom-shaped fireball that takes up the entire screen. Stay tuned for our #1 pick that will shock you. In August of 2017, a massive mudslide ripped through the small Swiss village of Bondo, which destroyed many houses and businesses, causing millions of dollars in damages. This shocking CCTV footage from outside a carpentry store shows some of the destruction. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.